Today's episode is brought to you by the letter I, which is Invest in People in our Shift podcast series. And today we're talking to Milton Block, who's the Director of HR here at Q-Line, and Hillary Stratton, who is the Employee Experience Specialist, who has so much fun creating these amazing onboarding experiences, as well as pulse survey components to understand where our employees are at and what do they need in their journey through Q-Line. So today we're going to talk about investing in people. We're going to talk about what it looks like to actually be an employee here at Q-Line, how much the heart of the HR team is really about making sure that people not only grow, but are cared for throughout their time at Q-Line. So buckle up. Both of these people are high energy. You're going to love it. Enjoy this episode. Hillary, Milton, here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
HR team is the best team. Let's be real.
Every time.
Let's be real. We don't like
From your mouth.
from my mouth.
No, it's true.
That's what I'm going to say.
I think we're pretty great.
So today we're here to talk about investing in people. So that's the I in the Shift program that we're doing. Program? No,
Initiative.
initiative. But I want to know a little bit more about your stories. So tell us all, podcast listeners, me, about your personal journeys. Like what in the name of everything good would lead you into a career where people and culture are at the center of it?
Rock, paper, scissors. Who goes first?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, you cheated. You come on. Oh.
There you go.
So I get to go first.
Yeah.
Well, age before beauty. There you go. So I actually, HR is my second career. I started as a teacher. In fact, my initial training was in primary school teaching, so I taught little people, grade 2. And spent 34 years in education, teaching everything from actually grade 1 at one point to grade 12, and ended up working in the professional organization for many years. And so my career has always been about people. Being in schools, I've always had a keen sense of awareness of the importance of a healthy team, of a healthy staff that's having fun together doing really important stuff, whether it's in schools or that can transfer to any other place as well. So when I had an opportunity to transition out of that career and this opportunity came up, I jumped at it because it felt very much like I could use the skills that I'd developed over time in dealing with people, I shouldn't say dealing with people, but working with people and helping them get to where they want to go. And so I have found actually my role in HR is very much like being a principal or being in education. I just have older students that I'm working with, and I'm able to, I think, provide value to the people as they find their place in our, I was going to say school, in our workplace, and to support the relationships that they have, because I know it's so important to be able to come to work to a place where you enjoy being part of something bigger than yourself.
That's great. Hillary, you're up. Your turn.
Well, I love people. I'm a people person. I love connecting with people and learning people's story and finding a way to connect with them. I was previously working in tech, in customer service within a marketing service department. And there was an opportunity at one point to join a people operations team. It ended up not being the right time. They were going through some transitions and didn't end up backfilling the position. And so that was a bummer, but this opportunity with Q-Line happened and I interviewed, and initially it was for an admin role, which was fine, but I think as we had the conversation with you and Teresa, we found that my skill set kind of brought something that was missing to Q-Line, and we landed on employee experience, which I'm happy to be a part of. I like what you said about people being in a space and being happy and coming to work and being a part of something that's bigger than them and finding enjoyment in that. Like if you have to spend 8 hours a day with people, you might as well enjoy what you're doing. And I think that we have a great team. I feel that with you guys. Like every day we come to work and we have a great time. And I feel that with Q-Line, our people.
And what your viewers need to know is that what Hillary brings to Q-Line is an awareness of people. She sees people, she cares for people. She cares not just about their professional practice, but their personhood, and that they fit in, that there's a sense of belonging. And she goes to great lengths to ensure that people are having that kind of an experience. So we did a great job hiring you.
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Milt.
So when we talk about people, we're talking about investment, we're talking about things like people feeling seen. I think part of being seen is growing, understanding that you have a pathway to something. So can you tell me a few stories about some folks at Q-Line that their growth and their trajectory has really inspired you over the last, few years that you've been there and the last year or so that you've been there?
It's your turn to go first.
There are so many unique stories of our employees at Q-Line. I can think of a couple. We have somebody that was previously a doula and was working as a customer service representative and is now doing some recruitment. And just to be able to see someone that didn't have previous exposure, like myself, to the industry and has found a spot to land at Q-Line and is finding success, I think that really shows what Q-Line is in this space that it allows people to grow in. One of our business development managers, she started out in bulk. She's been here for 10 years and she started sales there and dispatch and carved a pathway for herself with business development. And not only just in bulk, she's now expanded to company-wide. And so I think that's a really cool and unique story of growth.
Yeah,
for people within our company.
I want to pick up on that. The whole notion that people come to us with skills that are not necessarily honed in transportation, but they're transferable. And I think Q-Line does a pretty good job of seeing in candidates or in employees, there's a skill set that we can support, they can develop, and then we look for opportunities to enhance that, to shift. And so even those lateral or weaving movements within the company. And that part I find particularly rewarding, to see a career path that has someone, they see the opportunity, they take the opportunity. Maybe it's with a little fear and trembling, but we come alongside, and this is where Hillary does such a great job of coming alongside people who are moving into new positions, whether it's within the company or a newcomer coming in, that 30, 60, 90, and it's not just bars they have to leap over, it's how do we help people to succeed. And Hillary does a great job with supporting people as they take on new responsibilities within the company.
So shift. We're doing this whole podcast, this whole series around the principle of shift. I think we have to be honest about the fact that this is probably a really new thing for all the folks at Q-Line, because we're releasing that over the next several months. But talk a little bit about the genesis of shift. I think you guys had a great story of how that came to be. Where does the idea of shift as an acronym come from? How do you think it's going to actually develop into the culture and influence the culture of Q-Line going forward?
I get to start.
Go
so she
for
comes
it.
into my office one day and it's like, I got an idea. Let's do this. And I think Q-Line's pretty good at incubating ideas and testing them and pushing them. And so this shift notion, it's not like we didn't just start this yesterday. This has been percolating for a while. She's been working on it for a while, and she comes in and tells me, okay, here's what I'm thinking, and we work through those things and pushing back and forth. And so that part has been really fun to see the initiative coming from this employee experience specialist, because she understands that this shift program, for lack of a better term, is going to get us to a place that we want to go to, which has everything to do with employee success, which is how we build company success.
Now, I know she didn't just ask you, she probably told you this is what was happening.
Kinda.
Which is fine, because that's Hillary, and that's okay. But
You
what was the
sound
inspiration?
bossy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you're not bossy, you're just assertive, and I like that about you. But what was the inspiration for this?
So coming to Q-Line, being new here, there's lots of people here that have been at Q-Line for a long time. And so our values they're embedded within the culture. But I felt as I was onboarding new employees, it was hard to just point them to that vision. There wasn't, I'm a visual person. I like to have a clear direction of where I'm going. And so Shift was a way that clearly defined what it is that drives Q-Line, our values. Yeah. It's an acronym. It explains our values, and it's a way for people to just recognize and for it to be reinforced in our day-to-day. And it's this umbrella of all of our internal initiatives that we have. And so that's kind of where it came from.
And it's super cool because we drive trucks and we shift gears, okay? Like this is...
it's on brand for us.
It's so good. It's fun.
Yeah. So initiatives, you just mentioned those.
Yeah.
Like what?
So we have Shift Work, our 5-part series that explains Shift. We have Road Ready, which is our driver safety initiative, and it's a bunch of learning and videos that we put out on YouTube for our drivers. We have Thank You, which is our employee recognition, which is done through Teams. We have a channel where people can post highlights, celebrate wins. They get a shout out their team members that are showing values, our leadership values Shift.
And that's new, right?
This is all new.
Okay.
We're launching a culture committee, which is a committee of Q-liners that are going to come together and help brainstorm ideas. They're going to help curate events that will have employee engagement. Yeah, I need a team around me, so we want to get people involved.
And I think there's one of our Q Academy as well.
Q Academy, that's our learning and development, and that's something that Josh leads.
Yep.
I have fun with it, you know?
Lunch and learns, any type of development.
Manager monthlies, all of those pieces.
Manager monthlies, all of that.
So we're investing pretty hard.
We are, and I think what is really important about this particular initiative is in my view, it's impossible to find an employee that will not be able to connect to this. There's going to be a way that if they want to engage, there's a way to do it. And there's an invitation for people to engage. So I'm excited about the rollout. I think it's going to be well received. I think it's going to be actually not a surprise to our staff for them to hear that we're doing something more enhancing really what the employee experience is going to be.
So when we talk about Q-Line, the investment from a corporate standpoint, I think we're pretty clear on that. But there's one thing I love about Q-Line is that we try to invest in people beyond just, let's say, work.
Yeah.
So from your perspectives, what does a value like invest in people look like beyond the 9 to 5? I mean, we have people, if we're really honest, have families outside of work. They have, friendships. They have, some really difficult things going on in their lives. It's easy to kind of shut it off and just say, well, you work here, that's literally all we're doing. But what have you seen and what do you hope for in a culture at Q-Line where we invest beyond the 9 to 5?
So one of the things about Q-Line being a transportation company is while we have office hours, 8 to 5, we've got a big sector of our employees that are out on the road. And so they're away from home, they're away from the home terminal, their family isn't there. And when I think about what can we do to support all of our employees, one of the things that we do is we provide a chaplain who can reach out to an employee. And we've had from time to time really tragic things happen. We do talk about the celebrations, but life has some very difficult curveballs that come our way. And so Q-Line makes effort to reach out to people where they're at when they need the help and the support. So that would be one of the things by virtue of the chaplain service that we provide. I think the other thing too is, the work that you're doing in investing in people. You sit down with people one-on-one. You've got small groups, book club that you've been a part of. Taking people, and not to say we're taking people, but inviting people to come alongside to develop into the kind of person that they want to be, the kind of leader, the kind of employee, whatever it happens to be. And so I think we take time, energy, obviously there's the financial resources that are required in order to facilitate that. But I've seen that, and this is something that we're going to continue to do at Q-Line.
That's great. Anything to add?
Yeah, I've just noticed in the year that I've been here, we have witnessed sickness and tragedy amongst our staff. And at the heart of Q-Line, we really take care of our people. We try to provide as much support as we can to them, whether that's rearranging their work schedule or the ability to work from home. We are in office, but we do try to accommodate as best as we can for our staff. And when we celebrate, we've had a bunch of staff that have had babies this year. And so it's so fun to get to celebrate with them and send them off with their Q-line onesies to put their babies in and throw a party for them in the office. It's been really fun. Yeah.
I'll share another story that is really on the other end of that spectrum of life. And so we've experienced the loss of staff members, and Q-Line, I know, has stepped up to provide support. We had one staff member who was in a very difficult place, struggling with a battle for cancer. And like, our senior leadership went out and bought one of those special chairs for lifting because this individual found it very, very difficult to get in and out of a chair. So practical helps, not just our prayers and thoughts are with you, which they are. Yeah. But in addition, practical helps that are meaningful for people. Those kind of actions by our leadership team are, I'm so proud to be part of a company that takes those steps to look after the needs of people.
So when we talk about difficulty, I think we're currently, and we've talked about this with other folks on various episodes of this particular podcast, but the market is a funny thing right now. There's a lot of trepidation, not only in our industry, but in so many other industries. And so, I think it would be helpful to hear from a people operations perspective, a story of resilience. Like, is there somebody at Q-Line or a story from Q-Line where it makes you so proud of the culture that we have developed by the way that they have been resolute or have kind of weathered the current storms that we see around us?
You're absolutely right about the current market that we're in being a challenge. And rather than singling out a particular individual, what I have observed is a group of leaders and staff that recognize they're all in this together. And so whether it's our BD team or our deck sales or our logistics and brokerage, it's like, guys, folks, this is tough. What can we do to get, the results that we're looking for? So I have seen resilience in terms of their approach, their leadership. It's not about despair. It's acknowledging times are difficult, but you know what? We can do difficult things, and we will. And as long as we continue to have the support of our superiors and we're able to bring along the folks that are working with us so that we're not a source of discouragement, but it's like, yeah, this is tough. I get it. This is market conditions that most of the people in our company have never seen before. We've been fortunate over the last number of years to have growth and to be able to see the company expand. And now all of a sudden, oh my, contraction. What does that mean? And helping our staff to not be afraid to look for new opportunities, to push into an area that they otherwise might not have. And so I guess Leah might be an example of someone who, she moved into business development, and at a time when there may not be a lot of business to develop, but then going after new opportunities, here's something. So that kind of creativity and innovation, if we can nurture that and allow people to reach and stretch into that space, we're going to be better off. And I guess what I'm saying is I've seen that, and I'm very proud that we've been able to model that within the company.
That's great.
So even with Catalyst, our leadership team created this internal initiative that was to help boost efficiencies within our operations teams. So that's another thing where we've seen resilience there, and they've had to come up with ideas and ways for our team to work smarter.
Well, and that's so important because, at times when the market is down, what are you going to do? Panic? No. You got to look for ways to find efficiencies to, iron. There's a lot of this iron sharpens iron that's going on. And so we have leaders coming together from other departments. So actually strategically aligning people who aren't normally working together to look for solutions, to look for innovations that will help the company at large. And Catalyst is a great example of that.
That's good.
It's been really cool to see our teams come together
And get excited about
Yeah.
working with others that they don't normally work with to produce results that are really hard to get to these days.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. What keeps you coming to work? HR can be one of those funny things where it's like you're dealing with people every day, all day. By the time you get home, you're peopled out. And so sometimes you might not necessarily have the best to give to the people in your own homes. But you get up the next day and you go to work. So what keeps you getting up and going to work?
This may sound a little cliche-ish, but when I say I love my job, I really do. I enjoy coming to work. And as I indicated earlier, there's hard things in my job. There's hard things in everybody's job. So I'm prepared for that. And the hard things don't beat me up, maybe like they once did.
Sure.
And so, the frame of reference that I have and the focus that I want to continue to have, which is on serving people. And I do love people. I love working with you guys. It's, is it fun every day? Almost. I enjoy being with this team. So I love the team that I work with. Maybe that's the first thing. I have a great team. I know they're committed to the cause. They're committed to serving the mission, the vision, right? Like we're actually in this together. I know that if I'm not there, I'll actually be missed. Because we have a team that sees each other and that relies on each other. So that's one of the things. I'm not just going to work alone. I'm going to be part of something that's bigger than me. And I love that about Q-Line.
Yeah, I love that you said that. That is a big thing for me, is coming to work and being part of a team that I enjoy. And I do enjoy our team. I enjoy my job. I love the fact that I have a lot of autonomy within my role, and I get to choose some of the projects that I want to work on. I get to be brought into projects and kind of help make them come to life. I love working with our brand manager. A lot of what I do is developed with her, and that's been really great to work with her. She makes everything look beautiful.
Beautiful.
Look at the sign.
I know.
And so, the people that I work with and getting to see those results, getting to speak with someone on their 90-day probation and say, hey, welcome to Q-Line, you've made it. What's next for you? I love that. It really helps.
I appreciate that. And you do that very well. And I thank you for that. There are difficult conversations that have to be had with staff. And I think one of the things that gives me a sense of satisfaction and value and meaning is when I can be truthful with our staff and demonstrate compassion and grace at a time when I have to deliver messages that may not be welcome. So we're truth tellers at Q-Line, and having that truth seasoned with grace and love for people, I think is the key to being part of a human resource department that is serving the employees in a way that actually fulfills our goals and attends to all of these values that are evident in Shift.
I've loved getting to be a part of some of those difficult conversations and learning from you, because you do handle them really well. Milt is a truth teller and he is direct and a straight shooter, but it's always backed with kindness and it's always backed with care for that person that you're delivering that message to. And so you've been a really great person for me to get to see some of that from. So thank you for that.
Thanks.
When you think about the future, what's the story you hope employees will be telling about working at Q-Line 5 years from now?
This is a great question. I think in 5 years from now or 10 years from now, I think the biggest takeaway I want to see is that when people come to Q-Line, whether they're here for a short time or a long time, which is inevitable with people's career journeys, that the time that they have spent at Q-Line is filled with growth and opportunities and meeting great people and collaboration and just a great space to land for growth, really.
Yeah, for sure. And so when I think about this 5-year thing, it's like, I would love to hear from our staff, like, so what do you do? I move the world. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm part of an enterprise that moves the stuff that our economy, that our world needs, and that they would celebrate that. Because we're actually a pretty cool enterprise. Like, we do some neat stuff. I wish more people could see what we do, come into our building and see it. I mean, it's a cool place. I'm so proud of this company. So when I think about 5 years from now, man, I just want our staff to be so proud to be part of a really meaningful enterprise, because it affects everyone in our society. When we do it well, they benefit, as do we, but we're part of something else. I love it.
Well, guys, this has been a really good conversation. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you for caring so much about our employees. I think, it's a big deal that we have people like both of you that care so deeply about the people that we serve on a day-to-day basis. So thank you.
Thank you, because you're part of that.
That's true.
Go team, go.